Alrighty. Hello and welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 549. Tim, it's that time of year.
That iconic 549 number day. I don't know.
Not only is it the holiday season, not only am I
Getting
eating
there.
too much junk food,
Oh, well, that's not inherent to now,
but it is
but
also the Game Awards season. Well, no,
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
it kind of is relevant to now.
What, do you got seasonal affective disorder where you're
Well, it's
sad
just
because
like,
of the lack of sunlight, and so you're offsetting that with dopamine from eating snack food?
well, no. So it's basically like my family's half American, and so we celebrate the American Thanksgiving, or sorry, we celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving first in October, and that's the time when you eat a bunch, and then you just feel like pigging out, and then we celebrate the American Thanksgiving, and then Halloween, then American Thanksgiving, and then it's like you're into the holiday season, and then it's just like you're freaking everything, eating all sorts of candies and food and crap, and because then you got Christmas, and then you got New Year's,
Yep.
So it's
A
a
good
time
time
when
to
you eat
be
stuff.
gathering with people, and what do people do when they gather is they eat, so
Yeah,
yep.
I'm eating greasy Swedish berries over here.
Greasy because they have that like film on them, the like weird film that's on the candy.
But they're not always like that. I don't know what's wrong with this bag. I bought it because it was like a get two for $5,
Yep.
and it's all greasy and smells like I don't know, oil. I don't know.
It's weird.
I probably shouldn't be eating it.
Well, it's too late now.
Anyway, your Tim Spence, how's it going?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good week, I will say. We don't really ever like check in at the beginning of these podcasts. We're just kind of like, how are you? Good. Okay, how are you? Let's talk about video games.
It's because we're men. We don't check in. We just
Oh, okay.
get down to business here. But yeah,
Nobody cares about what we're doing. They care
Yeah.
about video game podcasts. I want
It
to listen
is-
to a bunch of straight guys talk about video games.
yeah. It is the Game Awards. We watched them last night. Tim, just give me overall impressions. What were your vibes with the Game Awards this year?
I will say that I went in with some expectations, and pretty much those expectations were met, and so I'm satisfied.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Overall, I thought it was a pretty well paced show. I thought it,
Yeah,
Thought it
they
felt
were
pretty
they were
good.
hustling along for sure.
and I thought a decent, like obviously not every trailer can blow you away, but I thought it was a decent mixture of exciting new trailers and like updates on some old stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, very strong start,
Yeah.
of course.
I still always have a criticism. It's a Game Awards show. If you didn't want to make a Game Awards show, don't make a Game Awards show.
You mean like if
Or
you
if you
want
don't
it to
wanna
be an
show them
announcement
off.
show, make an
Right.
announcement show. If you want to make an award show,
And
make an
I
award show.
understand. We had this report that came out. It's alleged. We don't know if it's real or not. But apparently, it's $1 million for a ad at the Game Awards now,
Okay.
and that's like more expensive than like an indie dev like Expedition 33 could even afford.
Mm,
However, so it's a business. Obviously,
sure.
they're in it to make money. Jeff Keighley wants to make money. He wants to pay all his staff. But it's when you call it the Game Awards, it's like, shouldn't that be the main focus?
Yeah, I mean, and people have given them criticism over exactly that in the past, right?
Yeah, and
Where they've,
obviously
like-
he's talked about it too, where it's a struggle to figure out the perfect mixture of the two.
Because people have like, I remember, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but there was like a pie chart that was showing like how much time in minutes was spent on trailers, how much was spent on actually like handing out awards, and how much was spent on
Bits like Miss Piggy and music
or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and then miscellaneous or whatever, something that didn't fall into either category.
yeah.
And it was like only, I think it was less than 30% of the time was actually giving
Oh,
the
yeah.
awards away, which is like, then, people who are going to be pedantic are like, so was it really an awards show? Which is like, fair enough, but they're trying to spin a lot of plates with that particular production, right?
I think it probably evolved into what it is.
Absolutely. Like we watched it over the years.
I mean, yeah, we've seen every one.
yeah.
But yeah, it probably definitely more started as like a celebration of games, but by awarding things. But then once you see how popular or the viewership is, then you can start selling ad space.
Yeah, that was I think
And-
always the way in the plan, right? Like
Yeah,
We
because that
watched it in
first
the
the first
beginning.
year was also a bunch of ads. Yeah,
yeah, and it was like they're clearly trying to make it into a bigger thing so that they can then sort of change up the format of the show.
However, I do think I do think the Oscars could probably learn a thing or two from the Game Awards, because the Oscars, as far as I know, don't get tremendous ratings. I think the Game Awards even beats them in terms of ratings. And it's like maybe you should, they got to get off the network system. Stop streaming on ABC. No one's watching ABC anymore. It's like 50% of like the population like doesn't even have like cable anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You gotta stream it everywhere. It has to stream on YouTube. It has to stream on Twitch. It has to stream wherever the hell you want to stream it. Like you have to get away from that network system. And then I think they should show movie trailers. Do the same kind of thing.
Right.
If
Yeah.
everyone tunes in to see the big new movie trailers,
Exclusive stuff.
boom, there
Yeah.
you go. Sorry if you can hear my cat just yelling at me, just freaking
Actually,
screaming.
no. I can see her just half her face down in the corner there.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good show, and I think Jeff always does a great job. It's a yeah, you're like you said, a lot of spinning plates you gotta manage, and it's probably hard as hell to put on the show. And from what I could tell, no real hitches
Yeah.
in the production from a audience standpoint. I'm
Yeah.
sure people are running around in the back with their heads on fire.
Sure.
But
I
yeah, I
was
thought it was well executed.
Yeah, I was gonna say from a purely production standpoint, like that was probably one of the better shows
Hmm.
because they just kept chugging along. Like it was thing done, just kept moving, moving, moving.
Yeah.
They really didn't waste any time, which was I mean, I guess it's up to interpretation because like some people won't give a shit about the bits, like with Miss Piggy and stuff like that. Like they just don't care. But
Although
it's
people do love the Muppets, I never really grew up with them, so I don't have a deep connection with them. But some people like
yeah,
love the Muppets.
I think it adds this sense of like I do have to respect that Jeff Keighley always brings on the Muppets specifically to roast him. I do
Yes,
appreciate that.
yeah.
Because I also hope that he doesn't know what they're gonna say before they say it. I hope that he is genuinely like getting like when they had like what is it Waldorf and Statler on, was that last year?
Oh yeah,
Up in the peanut gallery, just throwing shade at him the whole time. Like, I
yeah.
really hope he didn't know any of those jokes before they said them, so it could be a genuine reaction.
I'm sure he does. Just based on everything that seems so finely tuned, apart from Christopher Judge's acceptance speech. Um,
Wrap it up.
but I always find it funny that the Muppets are on the show because the Muppets are for kids generally.
Yeah. Well, for
And then it's
everybody.
like you got the Muppets there, and then you watch like freaking Wicker Man in the Divinity trailer getting torn to shreds and screaming as he's on fire, and then you got the Muppets showing up. It's like it's a weird
A
juxtaposition,
weird disconnect. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's funny. But I do think the Muppets do have a bit more of an adult side to them because they're obviously adults who are being the Muppets.
Well, it's that thing where like when a well written like kids show will have a lot of double entendre jokes,
Right,
where
yeah.
it's like it's funny enough on the surface so the kids can appreciate it,
Hmm.
but the adults watch it and they get something completely different out of it, and they're like, "Oh,
Right.
okay." And then the kids are like, "Why are you laughing, Dad?" And it's like, "Oh, I'll tell you when you're older."
Yeah. All right. Where do you want to start? You want to start with some winners? You want to start with some announcements?
Should we get all of the like awards out of the way, and then we can talk about the
See, look,
announcements in
you
our
sound just like get Jeff Keighley. Let's get these
yeah,
awards
yeah.
out of the
Let's get these
way.
awards out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking like if anyone's tuning into the podcast,
I know.
specifically for the Game Awards episode, they probably want to hear who won what first and who like what's the ranking, and then we can
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about the reveals and we can talk about our thoughts.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll just go through this. Best family game: Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I love that they
You,
did that like right at the beginning, so that they were like, "Okay, Nintendo, here's your shiny bauble, get out of here."
oh, I mean, they've won Game of the Year.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
To me, it felt a little bit like, okay, here you go, Doug Bowser, say your little spiel, do your little Nintendo thing. All right, now I'll see you later.
it was in the pre-show too. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you played Donkey Kong.
I played Donkey Kong.
Well deserved in your opinion.
It's good. It's fun. Like I feel bad that I haven't played it more
Mm.
because it is really good. Like for what it is, it's a very good game. I just like it's just one of those things that it's not specifically the kind of game that I'm looking to play right now, and so like when I go to play it, it's very good. It's just that it's not really what I'm like
Yeah.
doing right now.
This one's interesting. Innovation and accessibility. Doom: The Dark Ages. Now, I have not played it. I don't know what they got in terms of accessibility, but that's crazy.
That was one thing I was kind of wanting a little bit more watching the games awards was like sort of a justification for the choice of the winner. Because
Hmm.
like I remember when I think it was The Last of Us Part 2 won the award for accessibility a couple of years ago. But it was sort of like I can't remember if it was like a social media thing or something like it was all over Twitter, but like they were showcasing, or at least I saw in my own time and experience, um, like just to what extent the accessibility things were for that game, like all the color, like color blindness modes, and then like the high contrast mode and um, the way that you could like see how the listening mode would work for like different settings and stuff. Like there were so
Yeah, it
many
was
little
nuts.
accessibility tweaks in that menu, whereas like most games will have under accessibility will maybe have like a couple like color blindness and that's it. But that game had like a full two screens of options for accessibility, which was really
Yeah.
interesting. Character outlines, subtitle things, all this stuff. Yeah. So I would have been interested to know exactly what Doom did.
Boot it up. You got it on Game Pass, right?
Oh, I guess it would be on there, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Stream it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Best esports athlete, or sorry, game, Counter-Strike 2. Best esports athlete, Chovy. I don't know who that is. Best esports team is kind of weird. Isn't that a weird category? Like did this team win? And like, is that why they're the best? Or is it just like, oh, Buffalo Bills, they're the best NFL team? Like, what does that mean?
I would imagine that a best esports team award is determined by them actually competing. So it is kind of weird to have like who has voted on this? Is it like a player's voice type thing or
There's some sort of committee with the Game Awards, right?
yeah,
Some
people's choice.
judges panel thing.
So it's interesting that they award like the best esports game and the best esports team, but they don't have anything that's particularly esports centric
Yeah,
for the Game Awards. And
yeah.
obviously like the competition is a key part of the like video games industry even, but it is weird that we don't have any more information on that.
Although you were talking about like you want justification for some of these, I think the best we can get really is like the description of the category. Like what would
Yeah.
make a esports team the best? Is it like their fan interaction? Is it their, are they like really friendly? Are they, do they work together well? Like just being best because you win seems like a weird award to get. It's like you won, that's the award you get.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best mobile game, Umamasume Pretty Derby. I just wanted to say that, so we'll move on there. Umamasume. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
I don't know if these are in order, but best independent game went to obviously Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
yes.
Uh, we should mention that Clair Obscur got the most nominations in video game award history.
13, right?
Yeah. I don't think they cleanly swept it. I think they lost best sound to
To
Battlefield.
Battlefield 6.
Best audio design.
Yeah.
Lost that to Battlefield 6. But I think otherwise, I think they won every single other category they were in. So that was quite impressive for an independent game that cost $10 million to make. Best adaptation. I was actually surprised to see The Last of Us Season 2 win this. Who else were in that category? Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell, Until Dawn. Okay. Okay, yeah, maybe maybe The Last of Us. All right. Answered that question. Best action game, Hades 2.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair, honestly.
I've
I'd
not
say
been hearing
well
the same
deserved.
hype for Hades 2. I think because the novelty's gone. I hear the second one's amazing still, but just, people have kind of experienced it.
More of the same, but better, I
Yeah.
think is like sort of the general consensus for Hades too.
Yeah. Best performance, Jennifer English for Expedition 33. Now, I think they had three voice actors in this category, so like they were bound to
Yes.
win. Yeah,
Ben
just odds alone.
Ben Starr voices Verso, I believe, in Expedition
He's pretty
33.
good too.
Ben Starr is also he's the guy that's in everything right now.
Yeah.
Main character in Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, I didn't
Among
know that.
other, yeah. And then who else was there?
Daredevil.
Oh, Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
Yes. Charlie
Who I think
Cox.
said if he won, it should go to his motion capture artist.
Oh. I think
Which,
Ben Starr as well had something along the lines of like, he was hoping that he won, but and other people were hoping that he won, but then when Jennifer English won the award, he was like so excited for her and hyping
yeah.
her up and stuff. And obviously in her acceptance speech, she said like that he's been a big help and basically a big brother for her in all the work that they've done together. So
Yeah.
it's all very wholesome in that regard.
hmm Games for Impact, South of Midnight. That is on my list of things I need to play.
Yeah, it's very cool.
They also took that time to announce that it's coming to PS5 and Switch 2.
Yes.
So that's another Xbox game coming to multi-platform. Best ongoing game, No Man's Sky. What a story, eh?
Yeah, it's that's another one of those things where it's like we've been around to watch its entire lifespan. It's crazy to think how old that game is now.
And still winning best ongoing game.
Yeah, I think that was one that some people were like mad about or whatever, but
Oh,
um
really?
I've seen like when you compare that game from its beginning to now, it's an entirely different game.
hmm
But even if you like there's the meme in the community for No Man's Sky where like they keep putting out updates and they're like, please, Hello Games, let us pay you money. Like, why do
Oh,
you keep
yeah,
putting all this free content out? Like, let us pay you more. Let me buy DLC. Let me buy blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, sorry. Anyway, here's 6 more hours of content.
That's a good question though. How are they making money? It's just people keep buying it, I guess.
They will
It, it
buy in the
doesn't
game, yeah.
it doesn't go on sale all too cheaply either. It goes like for like $30 still, even on sale.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe there's just enough people continuing to buy it, you know.
Yeah.
It also came to Mac. I don't that's not going to boost their sales by a lot, but it's out there. Like we said, best audio design went to Battlefield 6. Content creator of the year, Moist Critical. Are you familiar with this guy at all?
Charlie, yeah. Big YouTuber guy.
You know my first name basis. Oh,
Yeah,
I've seen this
yeah,
guy.
we go way
Okay.
back. Yeah, yeah.
I've seen him before. Yeah.
Yeah. He covers a lot of events. Um, but he's also he's a voice actor now. He was one of the characters in Dispatch,
Oh, nice. Okay,
one of
cool.
the heroes.
I lost my place. Best fighting game, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Most anticipated game, Grand Theft Auto 6.
That one's kind of like I feel like that one's kind of like it is technically yes the most anticipated, but it's like it's been 10 years, you know? Like
Yeah.
people have been waiting for this game forever. It feels kind of
And
unfair.
didn't we look it up last time? Weren't they nominated last year? And probably won last year? Or did
I
Witcher
think
win or something?
maybe oh man, I can't even remember now. I'm so bad with even remembering what happened this year, let alone previous years.
I'd love to see the vote breakdown though. Was it like 95% Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Game Changer, Girls Make Games. I can't remember what that was. Was that what they brought up those two women on?
That's when they had the two younger girls out because it's a newer initiative, right? Where
Yeah.
they're sort of
Yeah.
giving almost like scholarships and
hmm
placement opportunities, and then they showed off the one younger girl who had made that. They're working on that one kind of 2D top-down game,
Yeah.
adventure game that was pretty clever.
Best action adventure game, Hollow Knight Silk Song.
It was nice to see that Silksong did
Get something.
get something. A little weird how Jeff Keighley was kind of like, "See, you got something. Good
Oh
job."
yeah.
It was
Oh
like
yeah.
kind of condescending. It was like
Was
really weird,
yeah.
as if like he's got a bunch of people like hounding him like to give something to Silksong. It's like, okay, here's your reward. Now leave me alone. Kind of thing.
Maybe.
It's like
It's possible.
I don't know. It felt kind of like
It was a strange comment, yeah.
rude to the devs a little bit.
Best art direction, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I think yeah, that's probably a
It's a pretty like it's a spectacle of a game, you know.
it's a very unique world. It's like, in a very real sense, it's like you haven't really seen anything like it, you know.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Best sim strategy game, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Don't know much about that one.
Yeah, I don't know much
Best
about it.
debut indie game, obviously, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Insane for a first game.
Yeah. And I mean, not to get like too into the weeds about it, but like that was the same category that Megabonk was
Right.
could have been nominated for, but they backed out because the
Yeah.
dev was like, "Oh, this isn't my debut game. I used to work for a different studio and we had a different game." And so it kind of raises the question of like, well, then what technically counts as like a debut? Because there's lots of studios that are like comprised of devs who have worked in other studios or in different games
But
in the years past. It's like, oh, when I was 16, I made a Flash game on Newgrounds. Like, is that my debut game?
but I thought Megabonk said that he's a solo developer who went by a different name when he published his previous game, changed like his like studio name and then made Megabonk. So
Yeah.
it wasn't really like he was an entirely new thing. I think if you
Yeah.
have a team of like 50 guys or something like that, that would be seen as a new studio. But one guy just changing the name of that you operate under.
Well, that is the question, right? Is like,
Yeah.
does saying debut apply to the studio?
Hmm.
Because like you say, like there's lots of studios where some people from one studio leave, and then some people from a different studio leave, and then they both kind of group up together and make a new studio. Can you now say they are going to have like a new debut title?
Yeah.
Um, anyway, but that's always how it's going to go when you're talking about like handing out awards for something inherently subjective.
Hmm.
Like, well, now we got to kind of figure out how we're going to determine what means what in this context.
Yeah. Best score in music, Claire Obscure. Or Expedition 33, as some people call it.
I think that's kind of how most people are referring to it. Yeah.
God, why not? Why isn't it Claire Obscure? It comes before the colon.
I don't know. I don't know. People latch on different things.
Expedition 33 is the subtitle.
E33 just kind of sounds better though, you know?
COE 33.
COE 33
Yeah.
doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
Koi 33.
Cool.
Koi. Best sports racing game, Mario Kart World.
It's pretty fun. Pretty goddamn good game. Got to give it up.
Is it open worldy like the trailer looked? Like is it kind of like what they
There's
compare
an
it to?
there's an open world mode called like free roam or whatever. And like they're in the same way that like with every other Mario game right now, like there's a million mini objectives to complete that each take like between
Yeah.
1 and 5 minutes to do.
Hmm.
You can like pick the game up and you can free roam for a couple minutes and then you can put it down and then pick it back up and do it again. And I mean like the actual like core game itself of doing the races is also really good. I remember there was a bunch of controversy sort of in the Mario Kart specifically community where when you're trying to play online and you're trying to just queue up for like the proper racetrack races, a lot of the time the game would be like, no, you can only pick between the like in between courses to race on, where it's kind of like the long straightaways on the highways,
Right.
which are not as good or as fun as the actual courses themselves.
Hmm. Where am I? Best community support, Baldur's Gate 3. Still picking up awards there.
That one I would kind of raise an eyebrow at because the only thing I can really think of them doing in the last year is like maybe some mod support. I think that some of the other games in that category probably deserved it a little bit more. And I say this as a huge Baldur's Gate fan. Like I don't really know what they did to stand out in terms of community support. I guess the last like big content patch was in the last year where they added the new subclass for each of the classes. But like
Mhm.
even then, I feel like there are other games that are more like it's supposed to be community support, right? Like it's not the best ongoing game like No Man, like the one that No Man's Sky won, right?
Although,
Like
yeah, maybe they're kind of looking at it similarly.
so that one doesn't really make sense to me,
I also wonder, like, if you're a judge on the Game Awards
which I am.
and you vote on all the categories, which I assume you do, what if you don't play a lot of these games? Like the other ones in the category of Final Fantasy 14. That might not be played by everyone who's voting.
Yeah.
Same with Helldivers, No Man's Sky, Fortnite. That might not be the games you play or at least keep up with to know what their community support is. And so I'm almost wondering if sometimes they're just like, Baldur's Gate 3 is the best out of these games. I'm just going to vote for Baldur's Gate 3.
They just like wing it because it's the one they know.
Right. And when I do that when I didn't vote this year, but like they do have like the community vote on the Game Awards website. If there's like a category I don't know, it's just I kind of vote for whatever game I think I know most about.
Sure.
So I wonder if that kind of leads to some questionable results.
Yeah, I mean probably, right?
Yeah. Excuse me. Best VR AR game, The Midnight Walk. I'm not familiar with that one.
I mean I'm the wrong person to ask about VR because
Yeah.
it makes me motion sick.
Mm.
I wish I could play more of them, but
Best RPG, Tim, I'm going to give you 105 guesses to see if you can guess
Okay.
the correct answer. Go ahead.
Divinity Original Sin 1.
Oh, so close. No, obviously it was Clair Obscur,
Very obscure.
Expedition 33, or as we now know it's called Koi E.
Koei
33.
Tecmo, I think, is where
Yeah.
they actually got the inspiration for their company name.
Player's voice, Wuthering Heights?
Wuthering
Waves, sorry.
Wuthering Waves,
Wuthering Waves.
which Jeff Keighley continued to pronounce as Werthering Waves,
Oh, well, oh.
and only ever pronounced it
Well,
that way.
see, that's because Werther's paid him $1 million
$1 million, dang.
every time. It's subconsciously, right? Don't you
They
want a
didn't even,
Werther's?
yeah, they didn't even show
Don't you
up
want
on
a
the.
candy from an old man's pants? Is what I'm saying.
Well, that's one way to word it.
Yeah.
You know which ones are actually good though? There's the Werthers that have the like chocolate center.
I've never had those.
Those are really good.
Hmm.
So give those a
All right.
suckle every once in a while.
You heard it here first. Suckle on that candy from an old man's pants.
And we have been paid $1 million to say that, just as a disclosure.
I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm done now. I made my
Yeah.
money. See ya. Best narrative, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. Best multiplayer, Arc Raiders. There might have been hell to pay if they didn't win an award. Best game direction, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. And Tim, say it with me. Game of the year, Claire
Claire
Obscure,
Obscure,
Expedition 33.
Kawaii
Almost a
3.
clean sweep. God damn.
Almost.
What do you
Nine
think
nine
of the
awards I
winner?
think they went home with. I have friends that have played Clair Obscur. I have friends that love Clair Obscur. I have friends who have said that Clair Obscur was their game of the decade, the game
Woo!
of the last 10 years. I have friends that are obsessed with it. I am sort of playing it. It was a game that a friend of ours let me borrow, and I thought that it's very narrative driven. The world's pretty compelling, and that's usually the sort of game that Kayla really enjoys playing. So I thought we would play that together, and we have only really ever sat down to play it like 3 times. So we're not terribly, terribly far in.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But we have scratched the surface of it. So it is going to be played eventually, but it's kind of few and far between where you have enough time to kind of sit down and play a game for a couple hours.
Man, if you ever want a reason not to get Game Pass, I was planning on playing Claire, like trying to finish Claire Obscure over this last week. So
Right.
like over the last like 4 days before the Game Awards, I was gonna try to beat it. My internet died, and my internet company, like my ISP,
Yeah.
they're a local ISP. They're not that great. When they have outages, it takes them a while to get it up. Something clearly bad happened that it took them multiple days to fix. And if you don't have internet connection, you cannot play Game Pass games, even if they're downloaded to your system.
That's insane.
Even though it's a completely offline single
Yep.
player experience,
Yep.
you need that internet connection to Game Pass to be able to play it. So
The
that
worst.
sucked. But yeah, I do think. I mean, it's not a Ryan Johnson game. I think I said that in the past.
Mm,
But I can recognize a good game when I see one, right? And
sure.
obviously, there's amazing things happening in it. The prologue alone was like crazy how much it kind of like shocked me.
The thing that I think a lot of people do not really think about when they are looking at like a game of the year nomination or whatever is that there's a lot of different components that are getting weighted, and there's a lot of things in a game that some people might not really care about,
Hmm.
and so then they're going to like weigh things differently in their estimation of, game of the year versus what the Game Awards is going to give Game of the Year to.
Right.
And like the soundtrack in that game
Oh yeah.
is probably one of the like shining
Yeah.
like features of it. But there are going to be people out there who just don't care about it at all. Like they just don't care about the soundtrack, or they can't maybe necessarily like appreciate it in the same way that somebody who really, really likes, um, you know, organ
Well, I
like the
mean,
genre of music.
Matt, he doesn't listen to music, and so I don't know what his
Mhm.
appreciation level is for even like soundtracks. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
it's hard to kind of gauge.
And that's fine, right? To
Hmm.
like not necessarily appreciate every element of a game like that. But I think that when you're talking about something, when you're trying to take something subjective like a creative work of art and try to rate it objectively against other works, there does have to be some sort of overall like stacking up of components of that piece to compare against other pieces. And like So yeah, you got to weigh how does the narrative weigh in? How does the gameplay mechanics weigh in? How do the graphics weigh in? How does the sound design weigh in? Right?
Hmm.
Um, and so these are all going to be um, that altogether you take the highest total score, right?
Yeah.
And they in this case they awarded to Claire Obscur.
All right, there you go. There's your winners for the 2025 Game of the Year, or sorry, Game Awards, brought to you by Jeff Keighley, and lots of money.
$1 million a pop.
All right. The reason most people watch the Game Awards is the announcements. Let's talk about the announcements. First of all, they started the goddamn show with like I was checked out after that. I was good. I could go home.
All set.
But yeah, Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic, which is a
Whoo!
single player action RPG being directed by Casey Hudson. Now, for those who don't know, Casey Hudson was the director behind the original Knights of the Old Republic, a highly regarded RPG,
Mm-hmm.
not just a Star Wars game, but an RPG in general.
Yep.
Um, and also the Mass Effect games.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe 1, 2, and 3. So that's definitely a good sign. Uh,
Very a very promising pitch.
However, as you always say, no gameplay, no money, or whatever. What do you say?
No gameplay, no hype.
No gameplay, no hype. And so we didn't get a no
We got a
gameplay.
CG trailer announcement.
It might
That's what
as
we
well
got.
have been a title card.
Yes.
Um, but that was enough to get me excited. Now, interestingly, let me see if I can bring this up. Where did I send that? Did I send that to you? Who did I send that to? Where's my chats?
What is this? Is this about Star Wars
Oh,
specifically?
yeah. Jason Schreier, who works at Bloomberg, he said last night's he put this on Blue Sky. Last night's biggest surprise was Star Wars: Fate of the Republic, led by Casey Hudson, who directed KOTOR and Anthem. Well, that's a bit of a blemish there, but exciting news for lots of people. But then he says, but Lucasfilm says the studio was founded this year, which means that 2030 is a optimistic guess. Maybe
Oh,
it'll be a PlayStation 7 game. So
hmm.
that's pretty wild, if they're just
Yeah,
starting work on this
crazy early announcement.
crazy early
Unless
announcement.
unless it's a situation where a studio was already working on it, and then they were like, let's put a team together specifically for this game because this other studio, we want to start them working on something else.
Right.
So we'll keep this ball rolling on Photor, I guess is what we're calling it.
KOTOR, yeah.
Photor. And then we'll hand it off to this other studio that we've just made, give it to Casey Hudson, and then the original team can keep going.
Possible.
Well, this is all
But
speculation. Like we don't know that that's the case.
but yeah, that could be dangerous because remember they announced a KOTOR remake and then that went nowhere. And
Yeah, that's
that
just
one's been
kind of.
in development hell.
Is it even still being developed? Like,
Maybe not.
yeah,
Yeah.
went the
So,
way of what was it? 1313?
yeah,
Was that
that's
like the
right.
bounty hunter game?
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was excited to see this. I hope it actually becomes something, and I hope we don't have to wait 5 years. But that is kind of the development cycle now of a lot of these AAA or quadruple A games. Let's see. Oh, Claire Obscure announced additional free content, a thank you update.
Yes, there was an
So
update
new
yesterday.
bosses, new stuff like that, new
New
weapons, I
new
think.
outfits, new weapons. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's kind
so
of
lots of
cool.
people were playing that update today.
But then the Divinity trailer. What did you think about the Divinity trailer?
Oh, you know what? I should have watched it again before we started this, just to kind of refresh myself. It's great because I already knew roughly that this was probably going to be a thing because of two things, right? One, the statue out in the middle of the desert
Hmm.
that even Jeff Keighley was like, taking the picture of and sharing it online and being like, "Oh, what the heck is this thing about?"
Right.
And then 2 days before the Game Awards, people were uh, going through recently filed trademarks, and they saw that the studio that had done other trademarks for previous Larian things had trademarked three things. One being the name Divinity, and
Hmm.
then two visual like icons essentially. And the one icon looked exactly like the
Oh.
icon that was on the statue in the desert. And so people were like, "Oh shit,
Hmm.
this statue is going to be for a divinity thing."
Hmm.
And then lo and behold, of course, I sort of had that in the back of my mind through the whole Game Awards and being like, every time a new trailer comes up, I'm going to go, "Is this Larian's game? Okay, no. Is this Larian's game? Oh, okay, no." And so when I saw this, and it was kind of looking like, okay, kind of looks like medieval Europe, high fantasy type of thing. We got smaller characters, we got some human characters. The art style is looking pretty high fidelity and also kind of gross. Like we got lots of really gross things happening in the trailer. People are like gallivanting around and having a good time, and guys are drinking too
Banging.
much and puking, and then the pigs are eating the puke, and just a whole bunch of like really like kind of
It
gross
was horrible.
medieval fantasy stuff going on. And then of course, like you say, Burning Man or Wicker
Yeah.
Man rather,
Wicker Man, yeah.
where the guys inside the pyre essentially. And I was like, I saw the he was wearing the like iron crown, and I was
Hmm.
like, okay, what is this? Some false king, some false divine thing going on. Maybe he's some holy man. And then they light it on fire and show him burning to death in no uncertain terms. Very, very gory.
Wild.
And then, you know, everyone's in just sort of this like fervor where they're all kind of going nuts because they're burning this guy, and everyone's cheering and running around and drinking. And like you said, they're banging.
People are banging while this man is screaming for
And
his life.
as soon as I saw the first elf that was on screen, and I was like, they got the elongated limbs,
Mm.
they got the elongated neck, they got the, you know, the pointy ears. I've been playing through Divinity Original Sin 2 with a friend, and I'm like, this is Larian. Immediately, this is it. This is giving me the same vibes as like the same body horror vibes as that first Baldur's Gate 3 teaser that they showed with the parasite going into Lae'zel's eye. And I was pleased to see my suspicions confirmed when it was revealed to be for Divinity. Again, like you say, it's just a CG trailer, no gameplay, no hype, but it is really. I have very high hopes.
They got the track record too.
Larian, honestly, like I have never been let down by Larian. I have no reason to believe that we'll be let down by Larian. It would be the most insane thing in the world if after all of these recent years where Sven Minka goes out and he's basically like disparaging the entire video games industry for all of its like shortcomings and going super corporate and like letting the suits make all the decisions and not really being in it for the love of the game. And then they totally drop the ball on Divinity. That would be pretty funny. But um
I have a question though. Now I have no connection to the Divinity games, so I'm a little disappointed by this. Now I'm obviously going to check it out. I'm sure it's going to be great. But when they said like, "Oh, we're not doing another Baldur's Gate game. We're going to make something else," I was kind of excited to see them do something new. You know what I mean?
You mean like a complete departure, like how
Yeah,
CD Projekt Red was doing Witcher, and then they went to Cyberpunk,
yeah,
like shooter, go completely different.
yeah. Because like Divinity is kind of Baldur's Gatey, right?
So there's two things, right? There's Divinity Original Sin, and then there's Divinity, and those are technically different
Okay.
series, but I think they're in the same universe.
Hmm.
So I don't know much about the Divinity games, but Divinity Original Sin is like uh is akin to Pathfinder, whereas Baldur's Gate would be D&D.
Okay.
It's similar in that it's a top-down turn-based action RPG. But it's more in line with like you have abilities, and those abilities cost action points, and you have a set number of action points that you can use every turn, and you can use those action points on abilities or movement or a bunch of different things. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit more free form in that way, which I really enjoy the way that they handle class uh building, their character building in that game, basically, where instead of just determining your class from the outset and saying I'm going to be a knight or I'm going to be a ranger, uh you just sort of invest points when you level up into specific masteries, and
Hmm.
then within those masteries you have access to skills the more you invest into said mastery. So you can kind of have a character that can do a little bit of everything, or you can have someone super specialized. You can have a lot into one thing and then dabbling in a couple of things, and it's very freeform. And I
Hmm.
that's a really fun way to build a character in my eyes, even if it is a little bit overwhelming at the start. But um, I would say that I do wonder, like, not that Larian didn't have, I think, a very significant amount of freedom when it came to designing Baldur's Gate 3. Like, yes, it's a D&D property, but I think they were kind of just like given the the reins and said, kind of do whatever you think is going to be right. And I
Right.
don't think that anything Larian would have showed them would have been terribly disappointing.
Hmm.
So Larian riding the high of Baldur's Gate 3 and having nobody to answer to but themselves in terms of designing this game, which is, according to them, going to be even bigger and even grander than Baldur's
Oh
Gate
my
3
God.
was, which is
Oh
a
no.
huge game.
This means I'll never finish it.
You'll never finish this game. Yeah, it'll every playthrough will take 200 hours.
Oh my God.
Um, but like as much as I try not to like go too extreme with any particular studio, like not being I'm not fully against or fully for any studio. I think that every studio can have gems and every studio can have mishaps.
Hmm.
Um, I I'm letting that flying in the face of that a little bit by just kind of being like, I'm just gonna wait until Larian disappoints me, but until then, I'm gonna be a huge fan. So obvious to say that I'm very excited for whatever this game is gonna turn out to be.
Can you tell me anything about what the hell is happening in this trailer? Like, what is this guy? Why is his blood turning into the little flowers with like mouths? Do you any
I
idea what the hell's going on here?
Like I said, I don't know anything specifically about the Divinity series. I
Okay.
only have the context of Divinity Original Sin, but my guess would be, knowing sort of the story of DOS 2, is that this guy is probably like either he's like a false prophet kind of guy, because there's the idea of the characters that are like divine or they're blessed by the divine. They're like basically demigods, right?
Hmm.
And um there are those who are actually divine and those who aren't. And the existence of the divine also brings about the existence of like the void, and the void is constantly trying to like destroy the divine and destroy the world. And I don't know if the void is going to have any uh place in this game,
Mm.
but I I get sort of like general, medieval superstition type vibes where they're like, this guy said he was divine. The common people didn't believe him, and so they're gonna like burn him at the stake for being a heretic or whatever.
Hmm.
And then it turns out that while they were burning him, there's something going on with him where this like corruption, I guess, is like kind of
Yeah.
coming out of him, and his blood grows these evil flowers in the ground that sort of becomes sentient in a way. But then also he has this huge like boil that bursts, and there's all this,
It was gross.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what it is, if smoke or corruption or void energy or whatever it is, all flying out of him, and people are running and screaming for their lives. But uh, I don't think anybody truly knows what the hell is going on in that trailer.
Like it's real bad when fire doesn't kill the thing. Like,
It seems to only make it
what
worse.
do you do then? Like,
Seem to make it worse. It's like that
yeah.
movie Evolution, where they tried to burn the thing and the heat only made the alien stronger.
All right. Capcom finally confirms Leon S. Kennedy is in Resident Evil Requiem. Was
Sure
this
enough.
leaked or just like everyone assumed or
It was leaked because I think PlayStation accidentally uploaded a photo
oh.
for something where it showed what's her name, Grace,
Mhm.
with sort of like a lower opacity image of Leon behind her in like in the background,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
old man Leon. So people already kind of knew,
That
um,
sucks, man.
which is unfortunate, right? But if you didn't see that, then it's like, but Resident Evil fans are Resident Evil fans, and anything news Resident Evil, they're gonna know, right, as soon as it
I
happens.
feel like
So
it's so hard to be shocked nowadays. Now, I didn't know about Fate of the Old Republic. It was always like a desire of Star Wars fans that they want a new
a
KOTOR type
new
game.
KOTOR, yeah,
So that was shocking. I guess the
yeah.
Divinity thing was shocking, or did people assume they'd go back to Divinity?
I think that people assumed that the next Larian game, and I had said too, I might have even said on this podcast that I was looking forward to the next Larian game being like Divinity Original Sin 3.
Right.
And it's not specifically that. It's this new Divinity game that I guess they're calling just Divinity,
Yeah.
or maybe it'll have a subtitle revealed later. But as far as we're aware, the title and the copyright is just for Divinity. So um, people will obviously be keeping an eye for updates on that. But
Yeah, it
yeah,
sucks
like
when things get spoiled.
I think that people uh, maybe didn't know, but they're just like, pleased to be confirmed kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then Tomb Raider. Not
Hmm.
not one Tomb Raider,
Two
two
Raider
Tomb Raiders. We got Tomb Raider Catalyst, which is going to be like their, I guess, the next kind of entry. That one's not coming out until 2027. But then next year we're getting Tomb Raider uh
reimagined,
Legacy of Atlantis,
the
which
first
I
Tomb Raider game.
which is yeah, the first Tomb Raider game. I've heard other people saying it was going to be the first three, but I don't know if I see any
Mm.
actual confirmation of that.
The only information that I had seen was that it was a reimagining of the first game
Yeah,
over and over again. So,
which I
uh,
find a bit strange. I'm happy to get it, but it's like they just rebooted it. I mean not just, but like back in 2013 they rebooted it.
yeah, geez, it was that long ago, wasn't it?
And like before that, I don't know if you were following Tomb Raider games, but they did make Tomb Raider Anniversary, which was a reimagining of the first game.
Oh, okay.
And so it just feels like they're doing the same thing again. And it's like this is now a reboot, and now again with the remake of the first game. And it's just like I don't know, why did they just continue the story they had? But
I mean, there's so many established IPs now in the gaming industry that like we'll often see a series go on long enough
mhm.
that it's been a couple of generations since it started,
Gotta get
and
the new
then
kids.
and people see we got to get the new kids into the origin of the series, so we'll reboot and redesign the first games for modern audiences, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that takes off and sometimes it doesn't. Like my closest like point of reference would be the Yakuza games where they have the remakes of Yakuza 1 and 2 out called Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2. And now we're going to have, I guess it's going to be called Like a Dragon Kiwami 3, where it's a remake of the third game. And like, to be fair, the first Yakuza game is 20 years old now. So like,
hmm
it's been a while, but it is a marked upgrade from the first game in terms of graphics, obviously cinematic quality, graphical fidelity, audio quality, and then of course like they are um localizing the games with English voice acting as well, which the older games didn't all have, right? There
Right.
was there
Yeah.
was a Western release for Yakuza 1 back in 2005, Mark Hamill as Majima.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they didn't do that in the long term until uh Yakuza 7, I guess, was the first one since that had English voice acting. I don't think Yakuza 6 has an English dub. I might be wrong. But yeah, obviously 7 and then Infinite Wealth have English dubs, and then Yakuza 0 Director's Cut was the re-release this year of 0
My
for
God.
modern consoles, but it also it's the same game with more like, cut content, but it does have an English dub for the first time. So there's that. But anyway, my point being that a lot of these companies and a lot of these series have been around so long that they want to try a reboot, right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't necessarily surprise me that, like, when you say there was the reboot before where they had the anniversary edition where they tried to reboot the first game, didn't really stick. Then 2013 rolls around, they do the Tomb Raider reboot again, that
hmm
like every company was doing. God of War did the reboot, you know, Tomb Raider doing the reboot, and then it kind of stuck that time. And then that Lara Croft, they continued her story with Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, continuing her new origin story. And so now that they've kind of built some steam with that, now they're like, okay, let's try rebooting it again. Maybe, I don't know. And then it does seem like they're kind of going with the graphically modernized version of
Yeah.
that like old Lara Croft design
Yeah.
that everyone
Uh,
remembers from the PS2 days.
I did really like the
PS1?
I did really like the actress. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But the reboot Lara Croft,
Yeah.
I really like the actress. But her Lara Croft was more somber, a little more like kind of like broken in a way, a little more moody. And like the original, like Lara Croft was like a little more happy and making little jokes here and there. And
Well,
this one feels a little more lighter.
the Lara the like the old Lara Croft is like very she's like clearly a product of the like what was it called, like the Attitude Era
Oh yeah,
in like
okay.
the early 2000s, right,
Hmm.
where like everything was kind of edgy, everything was like, oh cool, everything was, I'm an aloof,
Hmm.
uncaring character as the main character, you know. I listened to Evanescence and all the angsty stuff. Whereas, yeah, it was like the cool, playing it cool all the time, quipping, always saying, little
Kind of
one-liners.
self-assured, a little overconfident.
Yeah, far too confident and definitely repressing a lot of trauma and hiding it behind a guise of this aloofness. Whereas now, people are allowed to feel their feelings and explore it through the narrative, a compelling narrative of a game, right? Where, like you say, I think broken is a very good
Hmm.
adjective to use for those games because holy shit, does she have the absolute hell kicked out of her constantly through those games. Um, Camilla
Well,
Luddington was the
that's
actress
it.
for
Yeah,
her.
yeah. Um, but even in these I'm on IGN's like page here for all these announcements, and just like this the thumbnail for these videos, like she's kind of smiling, and it's like I don't know if I really ever saw Camilla Luddington's Lara Croft smile, like maybe
If it
once in a
was, it
while, but
was
it
it
wasn't just
was
like this.
it was the very brief moments where she met up with the other members of her like crew or like her friends, and they had a little moment of levity
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they could have a little laugh or a joke or two, and then it was immediately back into the shit the next morning.
But she wouldn't be exploring and be smiling like she is in like this picture here.
No.
So I'm pretty excited for it. I will say the new look kind of shocked me for a bit. Something looked a little off about it, but
Hmm.
I've watched the trailer a couple times now, and I'm completely fine with it. I've seen other people like reacting to this online, and they're kind of like also commenting on her look. But I think you just have to live with the change, and then once you're in it, it's perfectly fine. You know, just
It's
that.
like anything where they update a character. Like people were even saying it about Leon Kennedy, like
Right? Yeah.
the redesign of his character. It's like, why is this
Hmm.
guy who's supposed to be his age like still wearing his hair like he's a 19-year-old angsty little
Right.
boy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but that hair is iconic to the character, and it's like if you're gonna change his face, you can't change his hair. If
Hmm.
you're gonna change his hair, you can't change his face. If you change his face and his hair, people are gonna be like, that's not Leon Kennedy.
Right.
Because I guess apparently the same thing happened with like Chris Redfield in Resident Evil, not five, in Village. They changed the way that he looked,
Hmm.
or maybe seven, where he like cut his hair, and people are like, "That's not Chris Redfield," because they like completely changed his model. Um, but anyway, like
Well,
it's that thing where like you would say that the artists designing the thing should have final say over the entire product. It's like whatever their vision is what it should
right.
be. But we live in this age where like the audience, the target audience for a thing are going to have certain expectations,
Yeah.
and to completely just ignore those would a little bit be like a slap in the face to your fan base,
Hmm.
in a way.
Well, I'm excited to have Tomb Raider back, not one but two, and we're getting the first one next year, which is kind of awesome. So I'll
Yeah.
be very excited for that. Control Resonant, not Control 2, but Control Resonant.
Got a lot of friends who are Remedy
2026.
fans who are going nuts over that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it too. So this is Jesse Faden's brother,
Dylan.
Dylan. Yeah.
I will say I played Control. I loved Control. But as with every Remedy game, I got no idea what the fuck is going on. So I don't know any of the lore about Alan Wake or Jesse or any of these characters. So like I don't know what's
Well,
going on, but
yeah, I was just gonna mention I didn't know she had a brother. That I played that game, I love that game, and I platinumed that game. I had no
mm,
idea she had a brother, and maybe that's a big part of the story, and I just missed it. I don't know what happened there.
all we know about Control Resonant is that we play as Dylan and that Jesse is gone, m- missing slash fishing, I believe is what it said
Or I thought it said
in the
rogue.
trailer.
The
Rogue.
siblings gone rogue slash
She's
fishing.
gone rogue slash fishing. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of seems weird for the new director to go rogue right away. Or are they talking about the him? Are they
No,
talking about Dylan?
they're talking about Jesse. And so that's what people are saying, like, what the fuck happened to Jesse?
What happened to Jesse?
Like that's the hook.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm
So
in. So
yeah, yep. That has to be the game that I have the least like emotional investment because I really don't know what's going on in the story at all, and yet I'm the most like hell yeah.
okay, all right.
I don't know what's going on, but I love it.
um, Returnal successor Saros got a new trailer.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm feeling this game. But I mean, I don't know.
I have to say, with Raul Coley being the character, I'm a big fan of Raul,
Hmm.
and I expect he will give a fantastic performance in the game.
Yeah,
I really don't know what to expect with that.
yeah.
And I need to play Returnal still. So
Ah, okay.
I have a friend who's like any time that I'm ever like, man, I don't really know what to play. Anytime he has an opportunity to say Returnal, he brings it up. So
Okay.
he's like, gotta play Returnal. So we'll get to that point eventually, I guess.
Are you a Mega Man fan?
So I find it hilarious how they built up
Oh
this Mega
yeah.
Man announcement so much
Yes.
to be like the big thing, and then it's like Mega Man. But that being said, I will say that my relationship with Mega Man is a funny one in that I love the music from Mega Man games. I think Mega Man has some fantastic soundtracks, but I really don't play the games at all. But I love a lot of Mega Man music.
This happens a lot to me because I wasn't a Sega kid. I did own a Nintendo of some sort that I played a bunch, but not really where I fell in love with it. And so this happens quite a lot where it's like Jeff Keighley gets super psyched about something.
Hmm.
He amps it up,
Yep.
and then when it's Mega Man, I'm like, okay. But obviously it means a lot to him.
Sure. I
Um,
mean, we have to say like I think the general reception among the Mega Man community is that
right.
it was a big announcement.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am not within that community, so I can't gauge
Yeah.
that. You know.
Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight got a release date. These Lego games, man, they just keep making them. I think whether they do good or bad, I think they just keep making them. I don't know.
Churning them out.
Hmm.
I've seen the sentiment more than once now. It's like honestly, kind of feel like we don't really need more Lego games.
Particularly the Batman ones. I think they made two of them or something, and then I never heard about them. And
There's like
then
three,
wow.
two or three
So,
Lego Batman specifically. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's the thing
Or
the
this
kids
will
are
be the
playing.
third
I
one.
I loved the Star Wars Lego games when I was a kid.
There's a
It
lot
was
to
like
work
it
with
was like
there.
my favorite game I had ever played at that point.
Yeah, I've played a lot of
So,
Lego Star Wars 2, specifically on the
mm,
Xbox. That's what I played a lot of.
Diablo 4. Are we getting back into Diablo, Tim?
I think I have like maybe 8 hours total in Diablo 4.
God,
I've like barely
let's get
played
back
it.
into it.
I don't know. It's just that those
Let's do
those
it.
those top down like ARPGs. The problem was is that we were playing it when I was playing it. I was playing it with like you and Matt or Matt and somebody else, and like there was no interest in the story at all. Like they were just trying to rush through the content, and I was like, if I'm gonna play Diablo. I'm honestly kind of playing it to pay attention to the story a little bit.
Mm,
And we just
hmm.
weren't paying attention at all and just flying through stuff. And so I'm like, I have no emotional attachment to this at all. And so I'm just not invested. And then I wasn't playing it. So like if I was to go back and play Diablo 4, I would want it to be like taking it slow and paying
Yeah,
attention.
yeah. We got a debut trailer for the Street Fighter live action movie, and they brought out like the whole cast. That was crazy.
That was chaotic, and there were definitely some people. I don't know if you noticed, but I think all 13 of them or so had
Had
their own
microphones. Yeah,
microphones, which
yeah.
was crazy. And some of those people definitely were not sticking to their press kits, but there was probably some paperwork that had to be
Well, that one guy
written up
brought
after
up
that.
Mortal Kombat, which is obviously a competitor.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of funny that he was
and he's
talking
like
about
saying
them.
it sucks, and it's like I don't know if you're allowed to come out here on the stage and do that, man. We're bringing back the Attitude Era. What? I don't
Hmm.
give a
Oh
fuck.
hell yeah!
What?
Star Wars Galactic Racer. This
Not
was
pod
this is another
racing.
surprise, another big
Not
surprise.
specifically not pod racing.
No, no, it's everything, man. Freaking speeders, speeder bikes, speeder other things.
I hope we get to speed through the jungles of Kashyyyk and have scout troopers smash their speeder bikes into giant trees.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be
That's
pretty damn cool.
and I want to see um two giant logs tied up with vines swinging down.
Oh, you mean Endor then, not Kashyyyk.
Right, yeah.
The forest moon of
I
Endor.
want to see the forest moon of Endor, where all the little what are they called? God, I haven't thought about Star Wars in a little while. Little guys, what are they called? The furry
Ewoks.
Ewoks. I want to see all their booby traps set up. I want to be crushing people on speeder bikes
Just
with swinging
remember that
logs.
Ewok is Wookiee backwards.
That's terrible. That's
Wookiee,
exactly why it's
Ewok.
called that, isn't it?
Yep. 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 Yep.
God damn it, George.
Yep. Dub. But yeah, this is I played a ton of Razor's Revenge. I think the Pod Racer game was more popular, but I was playing Racer's Revenge, and that was an awesome game as well. We'll see what this one's like. I don't know who's developing this, or like, is it just like a quick cash in or something?
Um, you know what's funny is like when you look back through the history of games, there have been so many goddamn Star Wars games because it has been
Yes,
an IP that has existed since 1978,
77.
77. And
Technically earlier.
oh,
I think the book may have came out in 76, like a novelization or something. I could be
uh,
wrong about that. Don't quote me on that.
uh, there's a lot of Star Wars games, and the vast majority of them are pretty fucking bad games.
Oh yeah.
So like everybody has a Star Wars game that they've played, and probably a lot of people will go, "Oh yeah, like I played a Star Wars game. I don't remember what it was called. It was kind of bad, or it was really good." Blah, blah, blah. And I remember the Pod Racer game, and I think a lot of people remember the Pod Racer game. And so when we saw this trailer, everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna be pod racing." But I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know if we're gonna see pod racing. Maybe it'll
You don't
be.
really see a pod racer in the trailer. I guess
No.
there's one at the end, and then obviously Sebulba is shown.
Was that Sebulba specifically?
From what I've heard, yeah. Now
Aged Sebulba?
I can't tell one Doug from the other. You know me.
Right.
Um, but I'm assuming it was Sebulba. I guess you could hear his like his pod racer engines.
Mm,
So I don't know how you make a racing game in Star Wars without being pod racing. You
that's what
know,
I'm saying.
so
Like, what are we doing here?
yeah,
It's like, you know that the people are expecting pod racing. Just give them pod racing.
yeah. You know what's incredible though? You talked about how many bad Star Wars games there's been.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been good
There's been
ones
a lot of
too,
good ones too.
but it's probably mostly bad. You're probably right. And then the movies, a lot of the recent movies and TV shows under Disney have been kind of bad to meh. Some good ones like The Mandalorian
Yeah.
was good. Andor is fantastic and probably some of the best TV out there. Watch it even if you're not a Star Wars fan because it's just a great political
Genuinely, yeah.
spy drama
Yep.
thriller kind of thing.
Yep. You don't need to know shit
Um,
about Star Wars to enjoy Andor.
yeah, but it's like, but there, it does feel like Star Wars is at a bit of a low when like not all the movies are great, but yet the strength of the brand, like when the Fate of the Jedi got shown off, people were going nuts in the theater. Like everyone wants there to be an amazing Star Wars
Yeah.
property. Everyone
People
has
want good
hope
Star Wars stuff.
for there to be one. It's
We
just
need,
incredible that they keep coming back and being, yes, please give us a good Star Wars something.
yeah, yeah. The people need a new hope.
Yeah. All right, getting into some games I'm not too familiar with. Phantom Blade Zero.
Yeah, I can't claim knowledge about this one either.
Pragmata. I think we did see this. Was this
We saw a
first shown off at a
teaser.
PlayStation
That sounds right.
showcase thing?
Yeah.
That's all I
We'd
remember
seen it.
about
We'd
it.
seen it before
Yeah.
in concept at least, and we got a little bit more of a like. There was some gameplay. There was some gameplay elements and
Yeah.
cinematic elements in that one.
Oh.
Um, it was really for me. It was really channeling Bioshock 2, the like Big Daddy Little Sister
Oh yeah. Yeah.
type vibe
Hmm.
in a very different setting, of course, but very sci-fi. That's the flavor of the year right now in video games.
Bioshock.
Everything, no, like sci-fi. Everything has to be space
Oh.
right now. Apparently, like for a
Oh
while there, it
yeah.
was like medieval fantasy for a couple of years, and now it's everyone's all in on space.
I mentioned to Matt and Adriano that like video games love sci-fi for some reason. Like they just love it.
Well, it makes sense, right? Like it's the perfect medium for us for sci-fi.
I suppose everyone wants that spaceship and flying around space.
Yeah,
Yeah. Aliens are kind of cool, you know, all different
sure.
cultures and stuff. Now, oh, here's something up your alley, I guess. Gang of Dragon.
Yeah, so I guess it's a couple of Ryuga Gotoku like Yakuza studio devs who left the studio, made their own different studio,
Mm-hmm.
and so now this can be their debut indie title, called God of Dragon,
Gang of Dragon, right?
Gang of Dragon.
Yeah.
And I I At first I was confused because I don't know if it was Gamescom or if it was the last Game Awards, but there was a trailer shown off that was like that RGG Studios was working on something that wasn't Yakuza. Like I think they've got a couple irons in the fire right now, and I thought that this was that because at the end the guy is like walking towards the camera as the final shot, and the camera pans up and it shows the gate at the entrance of the city of Kamurocho, which is the city that's featured in the Yakuza games. It's
Mm.
like a fictional version of an actual like borough, so to speak, of uh real Tokyo, I think. And but yeah, it's another Japanese crime family story game,
Yeah.
which is like, hey, I'm all for it. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more like rooted in actual uh more true to life drama, I would
Yeah.
say, than like the ridiculousness that is the Yakuza games.
Warlock Dungeons and Dragons. Wait,
An
are they allowed to say
official
that?
It's an official like Wizards of the Coast
Oh, that's right. It is. Okay. Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons title. Yeah.
I was like, they allowed to say Dungeons and Dragons? Yes. Okay. Yes, they are. New single player RPG that leans into expressive magic, and I believe this is starring Trisha Helfer, the Battlestar Galactica cyborg or Cylon.
Okay. I don't know
You
Battlestar
don't remember
at
that?
all. I don't know it.
You don't remember when a blonde lady came on stage and talked about a game?
That did happen. That's
Yeah.
true.
Hmm.
A couple times even.
Yeah. But are you gonna check this one out as a? I hear you're a big Wizards of the Coast fan.
Do you? Who's saying that shit about me?
Yeah. ChatGPT told me.
Oh, fair. Yeah, no, I don't know. I keep an eye, like I kind of side eye these official D&D IP stuff
Yeah.
because there have been a number of things in the past where it's so clear they're just trying to like kind of capitalize on the hype around the brand, like because of COVID. And then obviously like things like you know, live play shows, Dimension 20 Critical Role blowing up the popularity
Hmm.
of D&D as a brand. They're just trying to grab a quick buck, like, and like, fair enough. If there are actually devs in these studios that want to make and like tell stories that take place in the very rich world of the Forgotten Realms that they do have established, like that's all well and good. But
Hmm.
a lot of these games have come out and they've just been pretty unpolished and bad. So like, I would just hope like if you're gonna have a lot of pressure to make something that's like actually good,
Yeah.
because you've got a lot of eyes on you, and like there are going to be some people that are going to buy it just because of the brand, of course. But you know, it's exactly the kind of game that I'm like, this is what I'm going to wait and see what people think about it after it comes out. We're going to see some reviews, we're going to watch some videos, see what people think, and then we'll determine if we're going to play it or not.
Hmm.
It's for me, it's probably just going off of past experiences with those types of games. It's going to land somewhere between a never going to play it slash I'll only buy it if it's on a deep discount.
Yeah. Okay. Forest 3 was kind of a surprise.
Hmm.
Now we played a bit of Sons of the Forest 2,
A little bit. Mechanically, that game
and
is great. Like I
yeah.
missed the like we were doing like the base building and stuff in that.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I
Hmm.
really liked the like shoring up your defenses, and like sometimes the like groups of cannibals would come at night and you had to fend them
Right.
off in big droves and stuff. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Was do I recall this was like a bit more sci-fi?
Yeah, I was talking with some or friends about it, or seeing friends talking about it specifically because they had finished the Sons of the Forest, and I guess narratively it gets really fucking weird and like I guess minor spoilers. There's like portals at the end, and so they were saying like I kind of wonder if the devs and like writers or whatever always wanted it to go to space, and so they used
Right.
Sons of the
Okay.
Forest as like a means of justifying that transition.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems very narratively strange to me.
Okay. So I guess this isn't really in order, but High Guard was like the final announcement of the night, and you're laughing at it.
No, you know what the thing is that like it would have been fine. It would have been totally fine if they just put this trailer anywhere
Somewhere
else
else.
in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they were like, "All right, here's our final announcement for this game that's all these all these devs that have really put their all into it and they're going to redefine the shooter genre. And then they showed exactly zero of anything that was new for the shooter genre.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing looking. Uh, Again, he overhypes it, and
Yeah.
then when it gets shown, it's like, okay, it kind of looks like a
Yeah.
different Overwatch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It would have been perfectly fine if it was just middle of the show. He didn't hype it up. It looks, you'd be like, okay, play with some friends. Yeah, it looks like it would be decently fun. Fine.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the fact that it was like, this is going to be some big groundbreaking thing, and it's like, wow, this looks like every other shooter that I've played in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Total War Warhammer 40,000.
40K.
Do I have to say
40K.
40K?
It's 40K.
It's written out 40,000.
It's always said 40K.
I don't play these games.
Warhammer 40K.
But David Harbour came out and announced this and said he's in it, right?
Yeah, that was random.
Apparently he's a big 40K fan or Warhammer fan in general.
Yeah.
Um,
Should have had Henry Cavill come out and talk about it
yeah, yeah,
since he's not doing The Witcher.
but he's not in it.
No, that's fine.
I actually speaking of that, I heard ratings dropped off pretty heavily for that latest season of The Witcher on Netflix.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch the last
Unsurprising.
two seasons because once I heard he was no longer going to be in it, I didn't even watch the season that was out. You know?
Yeah. Kayla and I did end up watching it, but it was like, it was bittersweet, right? Because you're like, I'm not going to see him after this. Like, he's
And
not going to be in it after this.
I feel a little bad because I like the other actors in it and stuff. You
Yeah.
know, so that sucks. But what else we got here? She's going to be a pivotal part of the story. Oh, Invincible.
Oh,
I don't know why it has
Invincible
that as
versus.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. For
Fighting
Loop.
game.
Sorry.
Fighting game.
Yes.
Invincible fighting game.
Yeah. For Loop was revealed. That was a game, PlayStation game
Mm-hmm.
from Bad Robot, which is J.J. Abrams, and
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead's designer.
Yes.
This also didn't look that interesting to me.
I mean, it's going to be one of those games where like it's probably going to be fine to play with friends. Left 4 Dead-y, but also roguelike in that like you seemingly in a much more direct way than sort of you would advance in other games by like dying and learning things. Like when you think of Dark Souls, for example, like that game is designed to kill you so that you learn something. For Loop is like much more directly like it seems like you have to die to like upgrade your character. So it's like you have to die to advance, which is sort of the whole like shtick of the game. Like the tagline is like fail period to save the world period.
Right.
Yeah. So you have a group of 4 people who every time you die you get regenerated and then you can go out again, very roguelike, and try to do another run and see how far you can get and survive and develop your stats and skills and equipment and whatever by continuing to go out over and over and over again in this world where everybody like aliens invaded or whatever, and everyone was turned into these like statues in the matter of a minute, and you're trying to save the world from the invasion. It's one of those games where it's probably going to be totally fine to play with friends if you have a full squad that you can group up, right?
So you're saying you want to play it with us,
Yeah, I'd give it a try.
and you also want to play what's the other one? High Guard.
Oh, no, probably not.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were going to say Toxic Commando, which is the game that is the like John Carpenter horror thing, but it's some of the World War Z people that are doing it. And like, talk about an example of a thing where it looked like a game that was just going to be like a cash grab. Like, oh, okay, like riding the hype of the movie World War Z, and turned out to be like genuinely one of my favorite games of the last like 10 years, probably. Like,
oh, really? Wow.
biggest surprise for sure of like expectations going into a game and then what it ended up actually being. Like, I keep telling people, like, if you have any interest in like a co-op shooter, play World War Z. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's genuinely such a good game. Like, among the like zombie game genre, which is holy shit, there's so many zombie games, but like among the zombie game genre, for me, it's easily in like the top 10 zombie games of all time.
Lenny Kravitz is joining 007 First Light as the big Bond villain.
You know what? I'm actually pretty excited for that game.
Oh, really?
I haven't played a James Bond game in a long time, and I know that James Bond is like, oh, of course you like James Bond. You're a straight white guy. Like it's who James Bond is designed for. But it's like James Bond is like kind of like a guilty pleasure for me a little
Yeah.
bit. Like some of those games are actually pretty damn good. I mean, Matt did his whole like breakdown of going through the history of all the James Bond games a couple of
Hmm.
months ago, I think it was. Um, but if it, like you just know the elevator pitch for that game is it's a James Bond game by the Hitman Studio, and it's like IO
Perfect.
Interactive. Yeah, that sounds like a good pitch.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that sounds like exactly the kind of gameplay style that would suit James Bond. Because
Hmm.
it's like when you think of watching one of those movies when they're sort of doing the like subterfuge, information gathering, intel, blah blah blah, before the big confrontation with like the bad guy or whatever goal they're trying to achieve. It's like that's
Hmm.
basically a Hitman level. Like that's how that plays out.
Yeah.
And so that's yeah. I'm honestly pretty excited for that game.
And then just a few smaller things. Deadpool is going to be in Marvel Rivals. I'm not sure who's really playing Marvel
Mhm.
Rivals anymore.
Well, I
Uh,
know a number of people that are still actively playing it a lot.
really? Okay, great.
Yeah,
Yeah. My whole crew kind of dropped off, stopped just playing it.
I never
Even
played
even
it,
after
but
new characters came out and stuff.
yeah.
Lords of the Fallen 2.
Man, this game's been announced over and over and over again. I'm surprised it
I
didn't win the
felt
most anticipated title.
I thought it was already out. I didn't
Yeah,
even know it was still coming.
I thought that it was supposed to come out like 3 years ago because they. So what it was they announced that there was going to be a sequel to Lords of the Fallen, which is like genuinely probably one of the like worst Souls-like games ever made. Like
Jeez.
the first Lords of the Fallen is it's an abysmally bad game,
Mm.
wildly commercially successful. It sold like 4 million copies.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. It's such a bad game that sold so well. I do, and it's not even like it had like the brand power to like survive off of. Like it's not like a Pokemon Scarlet Violet situation where it was like an abysmal launch, but it's Pokemon, so it's going to sell millions of copies.
Hmm.
It's like why the hell did this game sell so well? But it did. And so then they were like Lords of the Fallen 2, and then they were showing stuff off. And I remember seeing the trailers like years ago and being like, oh damn, this like grim dark fantasy game looks kind of sick. What the hell is this? And then it's like Lords of the Fallen, and I was like, there's no way this is the sequel to that game. And then yeah, we get another like honestly, quite frankly, a pretty badass trailer for Lords of the Fallen,
Hmm.
even though it was just CG. But they're really trying to set this like vibe for the game. They kind of keep doing the same thing over and over. Like they're like, yeah, this is gonna be Lords of the Fallen 2, and it's like, Sheen, this is the third week in a row that you've shown Lords of the Fallen 2 for show and tell. We can't stop seeing Lords of the Fallen 2. Like either release it or don't, you know? Like what are you
Hmm.
doing? So,
Neo 3 got a trailer.
hmm.
I don't remember seeing this one actually. We were kind of helping Adriano try to fix his PC a bit while we were like watching the show, so I might have been distracted for some of these trailers.
I think people already knew that Neo 3 was coming out because
Yeah.
a couple of the like YouTubers that I've been watching for a while, I think they got like review copies of it, so they made videos on it or did little like touchings on it.
Mm.
So people have known about Neo 3. It's one of those games I think that a lot of people who are like, if you have played Dark Souls, if you have played Bloodborne, if you have played Sekiro, if you have played Elden Ring, you should give the Neo series a chance.
Yeah. That was mostly it. We got some updates for like Warframe, Hitman World of Assassinations. It has a new I don't know, I guess a target, I guess, who's being played by Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich, yeah.
Jovovich. Multipass. Ontos. That was from the Soma creators.
Soma, yeah. The follow up to Soma.
So that one's interesting. I
Mhm.
Man, we tried to play Soma for like our YouTube, and I don't think we ever finished it, and we didn't think much of it. Marty played it and told me it's amazing, and he played it to the
Yeah,
end.
I think a lot of
So
people were like pretty hyped.
I kind of want to know what the hell happens at the end of that game.
Well, there you
So,
go.
but yeah, Marty also
So
has
much.
Ontos on his list.
Ontos?
Ontositos. Yeah, that's kind of it. Solasta 2, I guess, was also there.
Yeah, it's got Amelia Tyler, the narrator from Baldur's Gate 3, and
Oh,
Deborah Wild, Lae'zel's voice actor. They're both in that game.
hmm.
And don't forget the Free Shepherd, which was the first game shown off at the beginning of the
The
pre-show,
dog, the dog.
where you're like the border collie herding a bunch of sheep, and then
Okay.
it turns into this weird like Sonic Frontiers like pseudo futuristic weird um monoliths like rising out of the English Irish countryside. I don't know. It looks like a fun game where you run around being a dog, being a shepherding sheep. Seems
I mean,
alright to me.
we had a game about being a cat. Naturally, you need a game about being a dog.
Sure.
So
Stray was pretty good.
yeah. All right, that was the Game Awards 2025
Is there
in a big old nutshell.
in a slightly fleshed out nutshell
I mean, I got
based on our
several
opinions?
things I wanted. Two Star
Sure.
Wars games, two
Yep.
Tomb Raider games,
Yep.
Control.
Yep.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. Control, Divinity.
Mm.
Um, I'm keen on like I've never like I'm not a huge Star Wars person. I don't really know
Mhm.
much about Star Wars, but I've seen the light of the Mass Effect games,
Right.
that like quote BioWare style RPG,
Yeah.
and knowing the reputation of KOTOR, and I saw that first announcement and seeing like when they showed the title being like Fate of the Republic or whatever, and the crowd is just like absolutely fucking losing it for a like opening announcement. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this is a big deal. Like
Mhm.
this is a cool announcement. So
You
like
could,
that's another one cautiously optimistic.
you could even tell Jeff Keighley like after he was like full of excitement too. Probably
It's
just
one of
feeding
those
off of the fan reaction.
off the crowd, but it's one of those things
Yeah.
that he's known about for a long time, and he's like, I just
Yeah.
can't wait so that people know about it, so I can talk
Yeah.
about it because I know about it and I can't talk to anybody about it.
And he literally went boom. Like he
Yeah,
said boom. Yeah.
boom, there it is.
So
What do you think he
let-
would have done if they did an announcement and the crowd's just completely dead silent?
yeah, boo.
Get that shit
That'd be
off my
wild.
screen.
That'd be wild.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone at home is like screaming at their TVs, like,
Yeah.
"Oh my fucking god!" Yeah.
Would you ever go back and play KOTOR, you think?
I've had people recommend it to me. Um,
It's old. It is old.
yeah, but you know what else is old is Dragon Age, and I've gone back and I've played Dragon Age too. So, I
Not
might
the
be
first
able-
one?
I have. I don't know about because that's not Origins, right? Dragon Age is different from Dragon Age Origins, right? Or is Origins like
No. Origins is
No?
the first game, yeah.
okay? Because I've played a little bit of Origins.
Well, here's the thing
After
about
playing
KOTOR.
two.
KOTOR is turn-based. So it's not like it's hard to play.
Yeah,
It's not like it has old controls and you're like, oh, this feels gross. It's just like a turn-based RPG. So
aged mechanics,
It's-
aged graphics
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
But people say one of the best like RPGs ever made.
Yeah.
So I could go back. I honestly might make for a good stream game.
Mm. Building off the hype of Fate, KOTOR.
Mm-hmm.
Get that FOMO for KOTOR and play some KOTOR.
Try saying that 5 times
Yeah.
fast.
All right, there you go. There you have it.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are the games coming to us in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
future. What
Yep.
games have you been playing, Tim?
Whoa. Nice segue.
Thank you.
Honestly, not a lot different from the last time that I said. Like I said, playing Divinity Original Sin 2 through with a friend on stream every Monday. And that's a game that I dabbled in like quite a lot. Like I tried to play it over and over again. Years ago, I was like trying to get into it because I had another friend who was like another friend who's also a big RPG fan, but they kind of knew more about other RPGs, like not as mainstream ones that I knew about. And I've been told time and time again about Divinity 2. And I tried to play it a little bit here and there, and I would always fall off. And then after having played through Baldur's Gate 3 with them, we were like, well, should we go back and play the last like big Larian game that everybody loves? And I was like, I've tried to play it and I never beat it. And she was like, yeah, I also have tried to play it and never beat it. So we're like, perfect. It'll be a great excuse for us to actually beat this game for the first time. And it's I can't remember if I've said on the podcast before, but like I just love the way that game works. Like it's not as character focused as Baldur's Gate in the terms of like, going to camp every night and doing the little conversations, talking over the shoulder. BioWare RPG style where you're like
Hmm.
developing rapport with your companions and stuff. It's still a companion, party-based RPG, but like, combat and stuff operates off that action point system rather than like D&D rules and just abilities being on cooldown as opposed to being able to just do the same thing every turn. So there's a little more strategy that emerges from that. But it's also a like I always referred to it as a surface-based game because every encounter in that game inevitably comes down to making surfaces of different types everywhere, like oil or poison or fire or water or ice or clouds, poison clouds, clouds of blood, clouds of electricity, all this stuff, and letting that sort of determine the battlefield and how the combat plays out. There's a joke in the community that everything in like Act 2 and 3, every uh, combat devolves into everything being on necro fire, which is
Mm.
if you're on fire, it's a fire you can't put out. Um, and it's, but it's just really fun. It's a great game, and so we're really kind of like taking our time as we're going through it because it's not a game that we've played through before, so we don't know where we're going or what we're doing. We don't have that like meta knowledge to go through the game while we're playing it, but we're definitely getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. And it honestly holds up very well. Um, but I also finished off Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth last week, and that was a. I mean, if you're a fan of the series, I think it was a good game. I was seeing kind of the sentiment online that the narrative in the first half of the game was like pretty solid, and then everyone was like, it's poop in the second half. But I thought it was pretty consistent quality wise all the way through. I guess maybe some people thought some things were going to go some certain ways, and then maybe they didn't go that way, and so then they thought it was bad because the story didn't do what they thought it was going to do. But um, I'm I'm curious to see what happens in the next main series, Like a Dragon game. There were parts of it that I was like, this definitely feels like they are setting events up for things that aren't going to happen in this game. Like it feels like it's setting it up for the next game. But in terms of like quality of like the gameplay and stuff, like really, really fun. Far too much game per game in that game. There's too much content. You really cannot do everything. It'd be an impossible game to 100%, as those games normally are with their completion uh, logs, completion checklists. But yeah, insane game. But there was a spin-off game in the series that's like, I guess technically a sequel to it, which is the Majima pirate Yakuza in Hawaii game, where you play as the other sort of fan favorite side main character in the series, Goro Majima, the insane guy with the eye patch, who has amnesia and wakes up on a beach of a small island that is out in the ocean in a part of the world where I guess there are people who like play pirate, but they're also real pirates. And you get into the world of the high seas and the pirate shanties and stuff, and then there are also parts where you go back to Hawaii, but there's like this pirate island where there are these pirate competitions that you want to take part in because that's what Majima would do because he's insane. Um, and there's like naval combat segments like in Black Flag, and you can also do like boarding parties where you go from ship to ship and then you do kind of real time combat. It seems to be what they're doing with the Yakuza games, right? Because they kind of have shifted gears ever since Yakuza 7, changed the main series games to be like turn-based party RPGs, where the older games were like the, real-time action brawler beat 'em up style combat games.
Hmm.
And now the spin-offs are that sort of like real-time beat 'em up combat, like combo-based brawlers. And the main series is going to be like the party RPGs seemingly going forward. But with the Kiwami games, the aforementioned Kiwami games, they are doing those in the old style as well because it would be actually kind of an interesting thing if they remade the old Yakuza games, but instead of Kiryu, going around having his three combat styles or four in some games, um, they turn it into like a part turn-based RPG for just Kiryu though, because it's like a single player, single character game. But Yeah, that one's Pirate Yakuza is it's disappointed me a little bit just in that it's clearly not as polished a game as Infinite
Oh,
Wealth
oh
was.
wow, okay.
It really feels like it's a spin-off game that was just kind of given to a smaller portion of like the
Hmm.
dev team, I think, of the studio. Um, I mean, a lot of what's there is going to be reused assets in terms of like the locations and like some of the characters. And like these are games where they reuse old locations all the time, but there's been like a time skip or there's been, progress has been made. And so like you keep going back to Kamurocho in a lot of games, but it's like 10 years later or it's 15 years later or blah blah blah. So like things have changed in that time. And then you sort of get this like sense of nostalgia of like, oh man, I can't wait to like check out the old stomping grounds and see what's the same and what's changed and blah blah blah. So or like where are these characters that I knew before? What are they doing? Like how has their situation changed? Um but yeah, it's largely been those.
Nice. My go?
Go for it. I guess we could wait
So
for Matt to respond.
yeah, yeah. So since my internet's been down this week, I was not able to play my Game Pass
I
games.
haven't been playing Game Pass, that's for sure.
I actually went back to Star Wars Outlaws and played a few missions
Oh,
there.
wait, didn't you finish it?
No, so that
Oh,
Matt's been on my case because it's a Star Wars game that I never finished. That
oh, it's Matt that finished it.
Matt played it and finished it before I ever did.
Yes.
So hopefully I've reignited my desire to play it, and I will play it to completion. It's part of my backlog, and if I can get that one off, I think that'd just be awesome. So I've been playing a bit of that. Um, that actually not too hard to get back into. Some games it's like there's a bit of a learning curve to get back into when it's been too
Yeah.
long. Not too
Yep.
bad on that one. So I was actually happy about that because I was like, I'm gonna get it to restart. Sometimes it just helps to just restart a game and then you get back into the flow.
Of
So I don't think
course,
I'll
yeah.
have to do that. Other than that, though, what the heck have I been? Not much because like if I don't have internet, I can't really do much.
I was gonna
Been
say
playing Power Wash
normally
Simulator by myself.
nice.
The second one, and then it's on. I found the first one is on Mac and it's on Apple Arcade, so I had it just part of my Apple Arcade subscription. So I've already played the first one, but I thought, something to putz around on my Mac with if I'm ever just like need something to putz around on.
Yeah, a
Um,
little waste a couple of minutes here and there kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then
It's
I
funny, speaking of
guess,
going back to games specifically with Star Wars, Kayla and I played Jedi Fallen Order and both really
hmm,
enjoyed it. And then we went to go play Jedi
Survivor.
Survivor, and we started playing it and played it for a couple hours. I think we did like 2 sessions of it, and we just never went back to it. And now, in light of like the Star Wars games announcements, probably need to go back and actually finish that. Kind of have that as a
Did
fire under our butts.
Did you play Survivor right after Fallen Order?
Not right after, no. It was like a couple months later,
Oh,
six
okay.
months later, maybe.
Because like sometimes like you can kind of burn yourself out on it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That second one's a good one, and it has an amazing action sequence in it that I hope you do get to at some point. Hopefully, it runs a little smoother. Maybe there's been the wrinkles have been ironed out since when I played it, but
I mean, we didn't play it at launch either, so I think it was
yeah,
like okay, but
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think that's kind of it. Adriano was having some PC issues. He has a 3080 Ti, I believe, and he has a AMD the heck was it? Ryzen 9 5900X, which is a pretty good chip. But he was having problems with control. It was getting it like it was like he had like the lowest settings possible, set it down to like 720p or whatever, and it was
oh,
still like freezing and causing him issues. So he brought it over to Matt's place for the Game Awards, and we were just like trying to troubleshoot it, and we couldn't recreate it. We couldn't.
mm,
We updated his BIOS, we updated his graphics drivers, all the usual kind of maintenance stuff. So our only question is he has an ultra wide monitor. And we're like, is that somehow causing performance issues with his computer? So that's the one thing
it's
that's been taken out of the equation when we were
yeah,
testing. And that kind of leads us to think, oh, maybe it's that monitor.
it's
But
definitely possible. Like I got this new monitor, and I noticed playing Divinity specifically on stream, like I was having an issue where the game would like freeze all the time, like video and audio would stop for a
Mm.
very short period of time, intermittently, and it was seemingly at random, right? Like it wasn't like a regular every minute type of thing. It was like every 8 to 15 to 25 minutes, it would just kind of happen, and I would keep thinking it was crashing, and then it would keep going, and I was like, oh, geez, okay. And like every time, it would be like one of those inconsistent things, where like, God damn it, like what happened? Like why'd it crash? Not that I haven't had that game crash, but it's mostly been stable. And so with the new monitor, though, I have encountered this bug, I guess, because it is kind of an older game and it wasn't designed for like, 2K monitors. That if I had a menu up and I was trying to click something on the menu, if there was something that was also interactable in the world behind the menu where I clicked, it would prioritize what was behind the menu
Oh wow.
rather than the actual menu itself.
Yeah.
Even if it was just like I go to left click on something in my inventory to like use it or move it around or whatever, but there was also a space of like empty space behind where I could move, then my character would just start like running there.
Mhm.
It was almost as if I was clicking without the menu even being there. It was like clicking through these like pop-up windows, right, in the
Yeah.
game, which was particularly frustrating in combat when I'm like in my menu or I'm like there's like it was any UI element. It was even like the bar at the bottom where like all your abilities are. I'm trying to like click on an ability to use it, and then my character starts running as if I've clicked on the spot that is underneath the ability that I wanted to use, and then I've used up my action points on movement, and now I'm not in a position that I necessarily wanted to be in anymore, and I don't have any AP to use an ability. And so there have been a couple of moments where I'm like, God damn it, that's not what I wanted to do. And now I've like, potentially I've wasted my turn and potentially ruined the encounter.
Mhm.
So, but what I realized was if I just run the game in, I thought that it was like a refresh rate thing because it seemed like I would hover over something and then the mouse would like flicker on it as if I was or was not hovering over something that I could highlight. Um, Tried lowering the refresh rate, that didn't work, and then I realized if I just run it in 1080p, or no, the difference was that I had to have it in not borderless, but I had to have it in full screen,
Right. Okay.
and then I run it at a lower resolution anyway because I'm only streaming at 1080p anyway, so
Right.
play the game in 1080p, but just
Um,
the stupid new you get new hardware and sometimes it completely changes how your software works
in
even if it
PC,
doesn't seem like something that would
there's
affect it.
there's so many options on PC and different
Yeah,
settings. And Adriano was like, he was criticizing how like Nvidia has like a control panel, but then also an Nvidia app where you can like make adjustments. And it's like, why are the two? Which
yeah,
one's talking to the other? Does one
yep,
override the other? And
yep,
so PC gaming is pretty hectic. Um, I do hope that maybe one day, like whatever that ROG Ally Xbox OS, I hope that gets ironed out. I hope it becomes like more of a console like OS, and then maybe you could run it on a PC at one day, and just
yeah,
it would
likely,
be kind of nice just to be like, oh, I want to sit down and play games and have a smoother experience. I'll boot up into that OS, play my game, but then if I still want to work on my normal PC or whatever, just have regular Windows there. I don't know,
kind
but
of like a Steam big picture mode but for
right,
PC
yeah.
desktop. Yeah,
And they could totally do that because I mean, obviously Steam did it. So
yeah,
with the Xbox app, they could hopefully do something similar.
kind of like a virtual machine type thing.
Yeah. All right. That is it. Tim,
Ryan.
where can they find you doing your
Yeah,
streams?
yeah, so my street address is
Whoa.
twitch.tv/ the sidetrack, where we are always on track. Where we, like I had mentioned, we were playing Divinity Original Sin 2 with a friend on Mondays. And then the rest of the week, like I said, I've been playing, finish up Infinite Wealth. So we're playing Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I will never say that game's name right. It's so confusing. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. It's a good time. It's fun. And oh, you know what? I've also a little bit been dabbling with like Tavern Keeper.
Oh
Still,
yeah.
I'm still waiting for more content to come out for that game, but I do have to finish the last like story scenario. It's just so charming having a little like single player game like that where you also have like a narrator who's like kind of cheekily taking little jabs at you based on your choices and stuff you do. That's a good time. Yeah, pretty much 5 days a week on Twitch, and then sometimes on Wednesday nights on the Day One Pass channel, which we haven't done a lot of. All three of us necessarily like
It
super
feels like it's been a
frequently.
long time. Yeah.
It's been a little while, but here and there we play a little. We were playing State of Decay 2 again. Hoping on that some news for that third game. That'd be fun. We should kind of check and see what a bunch of like well received multiplayer games have been in the last couple of years, and maybe start working our way through some of those because
That's a good, yeah, good
we
idea.
we kind of
Hmm.
been playing the stuff that we know that we like because we
Hmm.
kind of just want to hang out and play a game that
Yeah.
we know we like. But we should try some newer like multiplayer stuff, even if it's kind of like smaller indie things or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. That did you give the address?
Uh,
Twitch.tv/Day1Patch Media.
Day One Patch Media, all one word, one as spelled out like the word, not the letter or the number. Whoops.
Yeah, Wednesdays 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.